late. I'm so late. No matter recover from me, but still, just... Happy spring. Anyone else brought you flowers? Guess no one else in town is interested in upholding tradition. I know a lot of people see you as some kind of myth or just an abandoned statue in the park, but I think it's important to, I don't know, honor the beauty of nature or something. Till tomorrow, I guess. How admirable that the efforts of people from the past and my efforts from these past few years can coalesce into something as beautiful as this.
It is warm today.
It's spring. The sun is out. No more cloudy days.
You don't know that. April showers bring May flowers.
Tillie, do you want to be happy about spring or not?
I'm just saying. Leo, dude, what took you so long to get here? You're basically never late.
Yeah, I know. I woke up a little late and I went to go visit her. And halfway there, I realized it was taking so much time, but I was already on my way.
Her? A girl?
Nah, stop. Not a girl. You mean the Statue of Spring, right? In Forest Park?
Yeah. Some people see her as kind of like a good luck charm. If you bring her a present, she'll give you good fortune during spring or whatever. My family's always followed that tradition, but today something felt off. Like, she had a bunch of flowers, but they were all ones I brought. It's like no one else cared to take care of her anymore, except me.
Well, do you think that means anything?
Maybe. I don't know. It felt wrong. Like people should be paying attention to something, but they're too busy with their own lives.
Whoa. That's deep.
Really, I just think it means I'm ready for spring.
Ready for spring break, you mean?
Ready for our stupid assignments to be over with? Ready for the foodie festival?
Wait, what?
Oh, that's right. It'll be your first one because you're in 6th grade.
The foodie festival. It's a McPherson middle school tradition. Students sign up to bring dishes from all different nationalities, and we gather, and it's a huge potluck.
I'm making my mom's famous challah.
I'm making empanadas.
I'm bringing stuffing. Stuffing myself with all the delicious food. Just kidding. I'm focusing on the cookies for the cookie competition this year. No way we're losing this year.
Yeah, the cookie competition is the most important part. Even though it is a competition that everyone takes very seriously, everyone is still working together to help each other out and succeed.
It's so perfect for us bakers. My favorite thing to do since I was a little kid is to bake, and I've had a knack for it, so obviously my team always wins.
I'm looking forward to it. This is our chance to make our mark on this school's history.
Anyway, for the festival itself, I think I'll make schnitzel. Ellen, what about you? Does your family have any foods they love to make? Any cooking traditions?
Well, not really. I don't even know if I'm going. There's some important stuff going on with my family.
Everything okay?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just have to check with my parents. And my brother.
That's okay. You still got like 2 weeks to decide. Spring break first.
Yeah, spring break.
I don't care what Leo or the Statue of Spring says. Warm weather, foodie festival, spring break. I'm feeling good about what's coming.
I remember, Abuelita, there's sound of dough, squish, 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 being prepared for our Cuban family dish. There's Abuelita, rolling the dough as I watch it roll to and fro. She hands off a piece to me to form into long strands.
I smiled as my fist kneaded the sticky dough. I carefully laid a towel over the wooden bowl of dough. It needed time to rise. I grabbed the flour and started sprinkling it across the counter. I took the towel off the bowl where the dough was laid, rising. I stretched it and rolled it out, covering the edible snow. My mother came over and painted the dough with melted butter, then sprinkled brown sugar on top of the dough.
Abuelita curves the dough into a pretzel shape as her little Nieto attempts to do the same. 10 of Abuelita's perfectly shaped buñuelos sit in a row where her little Nieto is only able to make 3 on his own. I rush back to the kitchen to help her with the dough once more. After all, to her, it never felt like a chore.
A great feast is waiting. Everyone brings something to contribute, a potluck of sorts. We bring the meatballs, and my mom sometimes makes casseroles, which are always a hit. There's always hors d'oeuvres, usually some meatballs. There's rice and beans, macaroni and cheese, a casserole or two, hamburgers, hot dog, steak, corn on the cob, and chicken.
When we walk in, we throw on our aprons and begin the long process of making fig cookies. My dad and 2 uncles begin on the dough. We combine flour, warm milk, sugar, and more ingredients. It takes all day to create the perfect warm, steamy dough.
Finally, I began to roll the dough into a log shape and slice it. The dough, butter, and sugar began to form and look like cinnamon rolls.
Sweetheart, these look delicious. Are you practicing for the foodie festival?
I don't know. Maybe. Obviously, I can't enter these in the cookie competition, but they could be just a normal dish. Wasn't really practicing for anything. I just felt like making something.
And that's fine. I'm just blessed to have a daughter who loves to make things for her mother. Yummy things. And one who plans to clean up this mess afterwards, yes?
Yes, fine, Mom.
Don't eat too many, you'll spoil your appetite.
Yes, ma'am.
2 more days!
What's everyone doing for spring break?
I'm traveling to Kansas to see my sister. It's basically tradition at this point.
I'm driving to the beach and staying in a house out there.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, me too. My family's not able to go anywhere because my brother's leaving soon. I might go to the park a lot too.
Ellen, you're staying here? We should meet up.
Hey, that sounds awesome.
My parents are sending me away to sleepaway camp. Honestly, I think they just want the house to themselves for a week.
I don't blame them.
Hey!
But really, I think my parents didn't want to make any solid plans because they've been hearing stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, like the virus stuff?
Oh, for real? I mean, I've heard some of that stuff. It's not going to affect us, is it?
I don't know. We're not sure. Really, I think my parents wanted to stay chill this year just in case. We'll do something big for summer, I bet. We always do.
That'll be great. My mom is telling me I have to go finish my homework. Night.
Night.
Do you think?
Will we be okay?
What's going on?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What if...
Students, with new direction from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Florida Department of Education announced today all state schools will close for 1 additional week beyond spring break, returning March 30th in Orange County. State testing will also be delayed by 2 weeks and all extracurricular activities will be suspended. More details to follow.
So much for spring break.
So much for chilling.
No, you get to chill. Well, actually, you're forced to.
We're not going to Kansas anymore. We've gone every year since...
It's just 2 weeks. You'll get to go soon, I bet.
Camp's canceled too. I won't get to go to that.
But you didn't even really want to go, did you?
Well, I don't know, but now I can't go either way, and my dad and stepmom wanted a break, and I don't even know if I can go to my mom's house, and it all just kind of sucks. I didn't want this.
It's only 2 weeks.
What do you think this means for our classes or our schoolwork?
Or, I don't know, sports or choir or...
Or the foodie festival.
They wouldn't.
They can't. We've been looking forward to this since last year.
Postponed
until further notice.
Well, that's optimistic, maybe?
Yeah, further notice. It's something that happens every year. It's tradition. They wouldn't just cancel it.
Yeah, it's just like a long spring break, right? And then everything's back to normal.
Do you really believe that, though? I mean, it's not just us shutting down. It's not just the United States. It's the whole world. I mean, do you really believe that everything will go back to normal in just 2 weeks?
What can we do about it?
Nothing. We literally do nothing. You tried to tell me, huh? Tried to warn all of us. At least I can still come visit you. Even if no one else will.
Lots of people see spring as a time of happiness. New things are growing, new things are changing. Everyone just wants to get out and play in the sunshine. But some holidays in spring aren't meant for cheerfulness. They're meant for respect. Like when my dad married my stepmom, she brought new traditions with her, like tomb sweeping day. Families gather on the tombs of the ancestors to rear to the altar and provide ritual offering. Some people in China have to travel mountains and countrysides to fulfill cultural duty. When I was a kid, visiting my family's tomb definitely wasn't my favorite part of the day, since I was more intrigued by the ice cream that my parents rewarded me with after a day of diligent work. Now in solitude, there are few chances to walk outdoor, and I'm often stuck in my bedroom talking to a non-living computer. Some days I wish for a day in a quiet countryside, wind blowing to my cheek, mud splattering on my shirts, that me and my family work and help each other to tie the knot which binds us all together.
My favorite tradition is bearing jelly beans every Easter night and waking up to see they've grown into lollipops in the morning. Those cheap lollipops would be like gold, and all we needed was that. It felt like something I could count on every year in my world of imperfection and change. Even when I doubted that the Easter Bunny wasn't real and the gloss of childhood fantasies over that lollipop would fade, I never grew out of it. Dad, will you help me make some cookies? I want to practice for the cookie competition.
Hasn't that been postponed?
Postponed doesn't mean canceled. It'll have to come back, and I want to be in tip-top cookie cooking shape.
Sounds like a plan. Might be dangerous having fresh cookies around the house all the time now, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
When you think of the word tradition, you may think of a holiday or a time to celebrate. But of course, I was blessed with a mother who has had long and thick curly hair. I've taken it upon myself to carry out my mother's legacy of a lion's mane. It's quite difficult to process. You have to be strict with your shampoos, your curl products, your routines, all to maintain your silky curls.
Every night, my dad gives me hugs. But when he's about to leave the room, he turns around and me and my dad blow each other a kiss. After we put our hand on our cheek and say,
Got it.
Got it. I love this tradition because I love my dad very, very much.
I have a father who served in our U.S. military. There are strict guidelines to military dress, though, such as for women, you can't have one strand of hair, girlfriend. I would like to serve in the military one day. May God have mercy on the sacrifices I must make to my 1970s hair that my mother is in love with. Oh, the choices I have on what tradition to carry forward.
I know that everything that has happened has been kind of, well,
Crappy.
yeah, crappy lately. But even though things are kind of crappy and really scary, I'm really glad for one thing. We got to spend more time together. Is that selfish?
Nah, you're my kid sister. You're allowed to want to hang out with me. I'm pretty cool after all. But you know there's nothing to be scared of, right? I mean, with me going into the military, I've wanted to do this basically my whole life, and now we're going to do some really important things, like providing relief to different areas.
I know, but sometimes you'll do things that aren't just providing relief and are way more dangerous. And I'm just nervous. And I'm just envisioning how much I'll miss you when you're gone. Do you want to hang out some more? It's really pretty out. We could go ride our bikes.
I'm supposed to really lock down for quarantine before I get deployed, remember?
Oh, right.
I'm going to miss you too. I'm really glad we got to hang out. I wish I'd gotten to hang out with more of my friends before I leave. Speaking of, Patrick wants to play co-op together. Elle, I gotta...
Go. It's fine. See you later. Mom? Dad?
Not much time left.
What, for school? I'm ready for that to be over. Maybe it'll mean something different for a change.
Sure, but school ending also means we'll lose our chance for the foodie festival to happen.
Lizzie, we're completely online for the rest of the semester. Maybe if numbers go down, we'll start being able to do things in person. But the foodie festival...
No, don't say it.
Why not? Maybe it's better to be realistic at some point.
We're all being realistic. We know what's happening just as much as you do, but some of us are also trying not to be downers.
I'm not.
Guys. So maybe the foodie festival won't happen like we expected it to. Nothing's stopping us from holding our own event. We could figure out how to do something online.
How do you share food online?
I don't know, or maybe we can mail it.
What?
Or...
Mail cookies to judges. Sure, but you still can't share food with each other. That's the point of the festival.
Then you come up with an idea. I'm trying.
But maybe we don't want to, Lizzie. I wanted to do the cookie competition more than anything. But it's over. We're all just trying. And I feel like if someone adds something new to my plate now, I'm going to blow up.
I don't know why you guys care so much about this festival anyway. It's just food.
I don't really know either, but I know it's important to me. It seems simple, but it was a really big deal for us to have, and it really hurts to lose.
There are worse things to lose.
Sure there are, but losing things also isn't a competition, especially not right now.
You're right, Lizzie. I was being rude earlier. Sorry, you're trying to help, and I know that.
What if we sent each other recipes in place of the foodie festival? We could practice and then wow the crowd the next time the festival comes around.
Yeah, cool. Sending a recipe your way.
It's over.
What a relief.
We're done. We're free. No more school for 20 years.
For 2 months.
Same difference. March was 20 years long. Why can't summer be? And maybe when we get back, everything will be, I don't know, normal. Anyway, I have a great feeling about summer. My family's finally traveling to Kansas and staying in our bubble with my sister.
Are you sure that's...
Yes, we're quarantined, we're bubbling, we're staying safe. Don't take this from me.
Same for me, except camp. I have to get a test done first just to make sure I'm negative, but as long as I quarantine and so does everyone else, we'll be good. I do this every year. I know the people going, and no one wants to screw this up.
I'm going to my grandparents' summer home up in Michigan. Usually they come too, but they're not this year because, well, it's just going to be me, my parents, and my brother. It'll be the last time we get to do it too because they want to sell the home.
I hope you guys all stay safe. My parents don't want me going anywhere or doing anything in person. I'm going to be doing more stuff online. I don't know how. Sometimes I feel like I can't look at a computer screen for another second.
I'm staying right here. I want to get in all the time with my brother that I can before he leaves.
I'm going to miss you guys. I always do, but it feels different this year because we're not going from hanging out in person to talking online. We're going from talking online to talking online in different states.
Yeah, it feels like nothing's going to change.
I don't know about you, but to me, it feels like everything's changing.
Dear Leo, every year I go on a camping trip at a fort called Fort Clinch. The first year I did it, I don't remember that year that well, but I do remember that we saw a tortoise, and there was this 1 2 feet tall prickly plant behind someone's tent. So naturally, being 5 years old, we attacked it with sticks and sand. Fast forward to this year when COVID-19 struck. Not much changed except we wore masks around people and generally just tried to stay away from people. The biggest thing that changed this year was that we used an RV instead of a tent, and we stayed in a campsite inside the forest. We still had easy access to the beach, but it is an interesting change of scenery. Our family friends always come with us, and this year was no exception. They had a harder time because at the beginning of the trip, they were fasting and couldn't do much physical activity. But then, they included us in their celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr is at the end of the month of fasting, or Ramadan. We dress up on Eid in special clothes. I got to be a shark. We dress up, they prayed, we got presents. I know they were sad because we usually gather at their mosque. I hope I was a good enough friend to gather with this year.
Dear Tillie, every year we drive up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to our grandparents' summer home. It's this 40-acre piece of land in the middle of nowhere with a 2-story house, which we called the Crooked House. Inside the garage sat a John Deere lawnmower with a trailer. When my siblings and I were younger, we would sit in the back of the tractor while grandfather drove us around in the giant yard. As I got older, I was allowed to drive it. Driving a tractor made me feel older. It also made my brother happy. My grandparents want to sell the home. It's devastating my whole family as we grew up with that house as our second home. It'll be the first time in 10 years that we won't take our yearly road trip to Michigan. No more pulling the trailer, jumping out and laughing like we used to. Maybe when COVID's over, we'll find a new place to make great traditions. Maybe a new location where we can see the stars.
Hi, Lizzie and Ellen. Every family has traditions. Mine is an unusual tradition that fills my heart with joy in its simplicity. Every single year I go to Kansas with one of my sisters. I get to see my other sister who lives there, my best friend. Every visit, we drive downtown at least once. The place we're going to is the rooftop of an empty parking garage. We laugh there, we blast music, we get to be happy for one whole night. The close friendship that we have brings me so much happiness that even when we're just silently driving, there would be a big smile plastered on my face. I know I'm lucky. I was blessed to have 2 4-leaf clovers. Some people go a lifetime without finding one, but when you do, you know you're lucky. I was blessed to have lifetime best friends who would stand in the dark while blowing bubbles on top of an empty parking garage while laughing until our ribs hurt.
I stay home because of COVID.
I dance in my house and even get my brother to dance with me to Boogie Woogie Boogle Boy. I ride my bike.
I read so many books. I've had my kitten Tillie. There's a beautiful patch of vibrant sunflowers in my backyard. I picked them and cleaned a vase and neatly dropped them in a beautiful bouquet.
Nothing changes.
I sleep.
And sleep.
And sleep.
My brother was deployed yesterday.
Ellen, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I know how hard this can be. It sucks when my dad has to leave.
He's gone. He really is. And I don't know when I'll get to see him again. He barely said goodbye, and we don't even say goodbye. We always say, see you later, because it's not permanent, you know? But I don't know if this is a goodbye or a see you later. And he didn't give me the chance to say it.
I'm sure everything will be okay. He's strong and cool and...
But what if it's not? He was so excited for this. I feel like he's not even going to miss me.
That's not true. He'll miss you tons. Trust me. And in the meantime, you'll have us. And you'll have your parents. Right?
My parents. It feels like they're never around. They work from home, but all they do is work. I hate this. I hate this so much. I feel so alone.
I don't want to tell you that you're not alone because everything right now makes us feel so incredibly alone. It hurts and it's not fair. But I do want you to know that I'm here. And Leo and Matt and Tillie are here, and we want to do everything we can to make you feel a little less alone.
Click.
The camera shouts. Click. My fake smile starts to wear away. Click. I stare impatiently at the clock. Click. I worry about being late. Click. For the first day of school. Click. We start to move. Click. But Mom calls back. Click. One more. Click. We both look at each other. Click. Okay. Click. We groan. Click. Okay. Have a great day. Click. We both wait a second before leaving. Click. Bye, Mom. Love you, I.L. Click.
Check in. How's it going? Are we staying mentally stable? Lizzie.
Hanging in there, Matt. Tillie?
Just barely. Why do we have to do school? You'd be asking that even if we weren't remote. Ellen?
Recovering. It's been a long time since I've done anything fun.
You should try baking. Baking is good for the soul. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm fine. My birthday's this weekend.
Wait, really? We should have known that.
We always go.
To a restaurant, yeah, or have a movie night. But since COVID-19, I couldn't invite anyone anyway. I'll have more normal parties when it's over. Go to the kitchen and get breakfast, and I get to choose it. Then we play games and have fun, and I get to choose that too. And then it's time for lunch, and I get to choose that too. I think I might have cinnamon rolls or pancakes for a special breakfast. That sounds nice.
Well, we have to do something. We can't let a birthday go to waste. Too many traditions have disappeared this year. We can make a cake. My family loves baking a homemade cake from scratch on everyone's birthday. We can make a 2-tiered red velvet cake with chocolate frosting and chocolate drizzle.
Or a yellow cake with dyed frosting and detailed flowers on the edge.
Cakes make you feel like you're the most special person in the universe. When the lights are out and the voices of your family are singing, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. And you get the very first piece.
Oh my gosh, I know what kind of cake we can make. I'm not talking about some ordinary Publix cake. We are like mad scientists when we have a cake in a pantry full of all the wondrous items that are there just waiting for us to try to squeeze onto a cake. Most of the time, you can eat the whole cake. Except for the Barbies. These cakes may or may not contain Barbie and Ken holding a happy birthday sign with frosting all over their plastic faces and hair. Or they might include a cake decorated with Jolly Ranchers in the shape of an American flag with lit sparklers. Then, add the candles. Add as many candles as can possibly fit on a cake. All of that together with some Starburst chocolate chips and chocolate syrup, and you get a crazy cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matt. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish, but don't tell us what it is.
I won't tell you, but I bet you'll know what it is anyway.
The bell tolled 8:46 o'clock with the sun emerging from the hills. Still not hitting its highest peak. You used to love the sunrise, not because it marked a new day or surviving through a rough night, but because that's when they bloomed, the tulip angelique. Maybe the tradition of a perfect sunrise with colors that reached the ends of the earth, with lovable laughs and winds that left us with a petite kiss, have passed. Maybe they've passed because you want us to move on, or maybe they've passed because someone else needed an uncorrupted dawn. Strangely enough, I'm not ready for you to cease. The memories of our traditions have stuck with me, and it's still challenging to grieve, whereas parts of me don't believe that you could possibly be gone.
Leo.
Lizzie, what are you doing here?
I just thought that the Statue of Spring seemed to give you a lot of hope. You know, you were getting frustrated because no one was treating her like they used to, and I just thought maybe I could use a little hope too.
I really appreciate that. I know it's not for me, but thanks.
I've been thinking a lot about this year, about how it's gone by so fast because we've done nothing. I still think about the dumb foodie festival and how we were so excited. I don't know. Everything that it could have been.
It's not dumb.
I know.
Maybe all these upcoming holidays will make us feel like normal again. People do so many things for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
That they can't do this year. Or at least they're not supposed to.
Maybe dressing up or even decorating will help.
Do you think so? Do you? Can you bring our traditions back?
Halloween is my favorite holiday.
My favorite tradition is decorating my house for Halloween.
We get to be spooky.
I do decorations with my sister Cameron.
I get candy. I give away candy.
We decorate the roof with bats and snakes.
The day before Halloween, I pick up a good and small pumpkin. I carve the pumpkin with my dad, and we always make a scary mouth. I put a light inside the pumpkin.
The jack-o'-lanterns go in the window along with the Halloween stickers. Of course, the best part of our family Halloween tradition is dressing up in costumes and going trick-or-treating.
I like to wear a superhero costume.
We put up spooky ghost lights.
Every year, Halloween is fun and spooky. Boo!
The season was autumn, the location was south. Nature was lifting the blanket of heat which had swaddled the area in the summer. Decorations were popping up throughout the surrounding neighborhoods, and the conditions signaled would have been nothing other than a southern fall.
I usually go to a festival farm with their zip line and their food vendors and their tetherball and their bounce platform and their tree maze and their tractor tour.
I usually go to the corn maze, the creme de la creme of the farm. We stride into the corn maze, and the corn maze strides into us. Maze twists and turns into maze. Corn lines the way to reveal corn, and paths connect to the same paths. Humans and nature coincide in an effortless way without one dominating the other.
Because of COVID.
Because of...
Well, things are getting a little better.
Maybe.
Sort of.
If we stay apart.
If we stay outside.
Things get a little better.
But there are still some things to consider.
Thanksgiving!
Oh, I love Thanksgiving. All of the food.
The pie.
And the table is fully loaded with everything and surrounded by...
Family.
One of my favorite traditions is when we play a game of football at Thanksgiving. We wake up, say hi to Zana and Papa, then we wait for my cousins, aunts, and uncles to arrive shortly after. Once everyone is there, we split up into teams. It brings my family together. My family is far from perfect, but when we play this game of football, it seems like everyone is happy.
I remember one Thanksgiving, my family was arguing about who knows what, and we almost just canceled Thanksgiving. After much congregating, we decided to eat our Thanksgiving dinner and play our game of football. As we played, we all stopped arguing and were smiling and having a good time again.
We as a family would go to my Nana's house to eat our Thanksgiving feast, making pies and going swimming when we have warm Thanksgiving temperatures, and lastly, watching Thanksgiving movies with Mom, Dad, and sister.
Even before COVID, my family was separated. Part of my family doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving at all. Separated by 1,333 miles across land and sea, grandmother and grandfather's family at home in Cuba, grandfather in foreign country America. Years later, now that foreign country is called home. Every year, a tradition celebrated. Giving thanks at Thanksgiving, going around before we eat. How have you been blessed? What do you appreciate? Every year, we remember family, extended members too. Think about the small wonders, what we have to be thankful for.
Every year, my grandma makes a delicious pudding pie for Thanksgiving, and we eat it with the family. My great-grandma Tillie, my namesake, first made it. The original recipe calls for 22 graham crackers to make the crust. Who knows what could happen if you dare put in 23. Grandma Tillie's Thanksgiving pudding pie. Ingredients: table, family, love, pie, and forks. Bring your pie out and set it on the table. Call everyone over and talk about everything that's been going on. Give hugs and play games and eat lots of pie. This year, we couldn't be together to share the pie because of COVID, but we still found a way to make it work and had a fun and delicious time. Tillie's Zoom giving pudding pie. Ingredients: Zoom meeting, table, family, virtually, love, pie, and forks. Bring your pie out and set it on the table. Alert your family members that you're starting a family Zoom call. Once everyone's in, talk about everything that's been going on. And catch up while having a slice, or 2 or 3. It's easy to sneak in an extra slice off camera. I opened my eyes, and to my surprise, my sister was standing there by my bedside. Her eyes opened wide, she started to stare.
It's cold outside,
she whispered, and in a flash I was there. Still in our pajamas, we frolicked and played.
We come in with a full set of cloth armor, laughing about a now long-forgotten joke, kicking off our shoes after a long walk, cold seeping through our colorful socks, running to the Katatsu table desperate to get warm. The pleasant hot air trapped inside seeps through our bones, and we shiver at the sudden warmth.
I go ice skating each year in the winter. I like to go fast in my ice skates. I like to make pictures in my ice skates, and I like to do tricks. I also love how cold it feels. It's so good to feel the breeze on myself. And of course, there's always the first sled of the season. Now, how about we go down the hill?
I like going down the hill. Up, not so much.
Same.
I call first.
Me second! Woohoo!
Me third! Fourth!
Guess I'm last.
Now the not so fun part, climbing back up.
Feeling of warm in the cold, a bright light in the dark, being loved in difficult times, and joy in such a hard year.
Cases are rising. We have to be more and more careful if we have any hopes for Christmas. We're living our lives as normally as possible, but things never got rescheduled.
Like the foodie festival.
But this is the best time of year for food. For sweet and savory and close to home and memories of homes far away. We're all so unique with our traditions. And even if we can't share with the whole school, I have an idea of how we can share with each other. Our own little foodie festival.
I love Hanukkah. My family and I always eat latkes and sufgania, but really, I'm down for eating anything fried.
My family celebrates St. Nicholas Day, which is a German tradition that's been around for hundreds of years. It celebrates the good deeds of St. Nicholas during the winter time, and it shows a sign of hope for my family. We have rouladen and dumplings. Rouladen is a thin slice of beef wrapped with pickles, bacon, onions, and mustard on the inside. The dumplings are cut up bread in a circular formation. I'm glad I've gotten to experience some of my heritage in a fun way.
Since my mom's side of the family is Colombian, my mom and my grandma make a traditional Colombian dish called ajiaco. This dish is a soup that has chicken that is as soft as a pillow, potatoes that are perfectly sliced, and corn the brightest shade of yellow. It also has an ingredient that gives it its distinct flavor from any other dish. Guascas. You want to devour it as soon as you spot it.
And it's wintertime, so we can't forget about the most important food of all,
Cookies!
Every December, my family bakes cookies for Christmas. They're usually sugar cookies, but sometimes they're chocolate chip. Sometimes they even taste better than ice cream.
I love the sweet taste of cookies. My favorite thing to do with them is to eat them, and my second favorite thing to do with them is to decorate them.
Sometimes we even get together to bake them. We always figure about how they should be shaped. I say just plop them on there as squares, but they all say they should be circles.
I shape my cookies in the shapes of Christmas trees, gingerbread men, stars, reindeers, and sometimes just a plain circle. One idea I had for a Christmas tree cookie was to put frosting all over it, covered in green sprinkles, and use a yellow star sprinkle as a star so it looks like a real Christmas tree. The best Christmas cookies are very detailed.
It's just sitting there spreading frosting on the cookie. However, the cookies taste much better with frosting.
Guys, if we can't have the cookie competition, let's do our own contest. My grandmother taught me this. Make rolls in a bowl, a chocolate chip is in 2 rolls, and if you get a chocolate chip, you get a prize you don't want to skip. This comes to show you better like the chocolate chips, you know?
my prize?
Prize?
Yeah, you said there would be a prize you don't want to skip.
Oh, my Xana plans that part. I didn't get that far.
My family doesn't have any cooking traditions. We're barely together to eat most days. Sometimes my brother and I would make a mess of the kitchen together, but he's gone. And I'm not sure when he's coming back. When I think tradition, I think family, and quite honestly, mine is broken. We don't have happiness in the house. I don't think my definition of love, and it's definitely not what I want for my future. There's a lot of brokenness, loss, and emptiness in my home. We're all trying to heal our wounds and scars, so we haven't really mended enough to create traditions, so I don't really know. However, I think I've learned to be my own family. I've learned to live with myself outside of the standard mom and dad and brother scene. I've learned to live in my own head, to love myself enough not to wait on anybody, even family. So I might not know what it's like to have a tradition with my family, let alone a favorite one. I think I want to make my own, though. A without family tradition. Maybe an alone tradition. Or maybe, just maybe, a friend tradition.
It's the day before Christmas, a very cold and happy day.
As I watch my mom cook food and my sister knits away.
I pet my cat, who's as white as snow.
Then I jump in the car, ready to go. My yearly tradition to give to those in need. As I deliver Christmas gifts and food to others, it fills my heart with glee.
Every year, my family and I watch Christmas movies together. We don't have a specific time to watch, and we can see it in any location. It's still the same this year, even with COVID-19 around. My cat loves to watch with us.
Every year we put a Christmas tree upstairs in the playroom. It's a real tree just for me and my sister. I love to decorate the tree because the ornaments are real glittery. I also like to put lights up during Christmas time.
Every year, me and my brother decorate the train tracks under our tree. We bicker and bicker about where to place the things in our little town. He thinks that the mountain should go in front when they clearly belong in the back. He thinks that the blue car should go to the school when it clearly belongs to the church.
This year has not been the jolliest. So much crap has happened.
It's our job to decorate the town. Together.
We started decorating it like normal. That's when I thought, this doesn't feel right. The town is too perfect this year.
Every year, my family gets one present to open on Christmas Eve. It's always pajamas. Every year, we get different kinds of pajamas. Sometimes they're fluffy PJs, some years they're soft and fluffy PJs. After we open our PJs, we hold hands and sing Christmas songs. Then we light the candles before we eat and pass it to the next person. We call it kindness, and you should try it too.
Once upon a Christmas night, there stood a boy shocked with fright. He looked out over a window over yonder. When he saw his grandfather, he began to ponder. I've been concerned about a spirit or a person who kept following me. The spirit eventually started appearing in my dreams. I didn't pay any mind to it at first, but it definitely caught my attention. And I realized it was my grandfather. I've missed him more and more. He's in my country, unlike some of my family, but I still can't visit him. The first time a spirit visited me, I thought he was really there. It wasn't true. I think, though, that a spirit visits me not out of spite, but to keep me company, to keep me warm. He worked hard to overcome the disappointment that stung, but he knew deep in his soul that his grandfather's intentions were whole.
It's so hard to sleep dreaming of all the presents that pop in my head. I wake up so early to open my stocking, but first I have to wake up Mom and Dad. As we move to the presents all beautifully wrapped with bows, we tear off the wrapping paper, squealing with joy when we see what we wished for right in our hands. My dad with his coffee mug in one hand and the trash bag in the other saying,
Kids, hand me the trash.
We all laugh because we aren't even done opening the presents yet.
The earliest time I started this tradition was when I was 4. We first started with a present that has a note on it that says, "Open this last." Me and my stepsister JC have a code we say when we open the present, and then it kicks off a scavenger hunt.
I make Santa faces out of pancakes, strawberries, and whipped cream. It's so delicious. When all the presents are opened, it's usually about 10 a.m. We all eat a very special lunch. We never know what it's going to be. It's usually something from my mom. Sometimes it's charcuterie board. Sometimes it's macaroni and cheese, broccoli dipped in cheese. Oh, it's a Christmas feast.
Then it's time to clean up. Pack up all the tables and chairs that were used for the night and put them away. All the dishes are washed. All the extra food is stored. We've done it for years, and this will be just once more.
Ellen?
Dad! Hey!
Hey, kiddo. It's a holiday. I'm off work for once.
And Mom?
Her employers weren't so kind. So I guess it's just you and me.
Yeah, I guess. Not that I don't want to spend time with you. I'm excited,
You miss everyone. You miss your brother, especially, and that's totally normal. You two are so close.
We're so close. It's been such a lonely year. I feel like I don't know how to be alone with people anymore. Sometimes I feel like someone who hasn't grown at all.
This year has been one of the most stagnant years of our lives, whether it's your 12 years or my 42. You are different. You have grown because you've had to go through something so hard that you shouldn't have had to go through. It's hard to know what things are going to be like on the other side of this, but we've just got to know that there is an other side. Tell you what, I'm going to be here all night, so we can finally get some quality time. But if you want, we can bundle up in our coats, reach out to your friends, and see if they want to hang out in the backyard for the countdown.
Really?
You got it. I might even have some fireworks we can set off.
Dad!
Later tonight, can you tidy up before they come? I'll help.
Sure, I can't wait.
All right. Is anyone hungry for Chinese?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi, I'd like to place an order for delivery. I'd like 2 orders of the chicken and broccoli, 1 order of the orange chicken, and...
Chicken lo mein.
One chicken lo mein. How many come in an order of the crab rangoon?
You want crab rangoon?
Yes, but I only want 8.
8?
Yes. How many come in an order?
8.
Perfect. I want the 8 crab rangoon.
So you want 8 orders of crab rangoon. Are you sure?
Yes, I just want the 8 crab rangoon.
Okay.
It's a new year. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I just feel like last month it was March.
No, March was 20 years ago.
You're not even 20 years old.
Kind of sucks that it's not the new year for everyone, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, take my family. Like, we celebrate the New Year, sure, but we also celebrate the Chinese New Year or the Spring Festival.
Yeah, or Pohela Boishak. It's Bengali's culture New Year. It's like in mid-April. Everyone dresses up in bright colors like bright orange, red, yellow, and more. And they put up decorations like tabletops, banners, and lights.
There's also Diwali. It's a festival of lights. It's also believed to be the start of a new year or new beginnings. It's celebrated on Amavasya, or no moon night, which is considered the darkest night. So to welcome and display the joy of their king, Lord Rama, the whole city was lit with rows of lighted earthen lamps. Diwali is usually celebrated in October or November. People light lamps at Diwali to remember that light triumphs over dark and good triumphs over evil. It makes us remember that there is light at the end of every tunnel.
We have our own New Year, too. Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, yeah. I totally knew you guys celebrated that. I just didn't know that's what that was.
I think the idea of a new year, no matter what culture you celebrate it in, brings such inspiration. Personally, I'm getting a little tired of attaching all the world's problems to one number that we say over and over again. But if we all look for hope and change, I really think we'll find it.
Not everything has to change, though. Some new traditions are made and some stay the same.
Like maybe this, freezing our buns off on New Year's Eve.
Oh, that must be the food. I'll go get it.
I've been thinking a lot about traditions lately because I've always connected traditions to family. And that's looked really different this year with Galvin leaving. So for my favorite tradition, I wanted to pick something that others might not say. My favorite tradition is when I'm with my best friends. This might not be what most people think of as a tradition, but millions of people in the past and present have been doing this tradition. Being around true friends that truly care about them. Being there for all the laughs and smiles and the tears and frowns. And being with those we truly care about for all our well-known traditions. Traditions aren't just about the event itself. They're about being with friends and family, either to honor those of the past or do something special with those of the present.
Here, here!
Oh my gosh, Ellen, you're gonna make me cry.
So I wasn't expecting this many bags or boxes.
Got the crab rangoon.
I have the crab rangoon.
Crab rangoon.
It seems there's been a miscommunication. We got 8 orders of 8 crab rangoon.
A feast.
Buying a crazy amount of crab rangoon sounds like a new tradition if I've ever heard one.
And just in time for our countdown, too. Everyone, get ready.
And make a wish.
Not sure that's how that works.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Like light in a cave, we all find our way to a road called performances. Seeing people walk away with a smile makes me dance more and sing louder than before. Traditions are the best.